Attention, please. The show starts in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go. Bass in your face. Bass in your face.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Uncommon Sense with Jose Negron. Now, for the benefit of those of you who are not familiar with the channel or watching this channel for the first time, the reason why it is called Uncommon Sense, because here we discuss everyday issues where we try to find logical solutions, but not everyone uses logic. So that's the reason it is called Uncommon Sense. I also have another YouTube channel called Latina Diaspora, where I talk about issues pertaining to Latinos residing in the United States. Okay, the link to that channel is in the description. As always, I want to give a huge shout out to all those who have already subscribed to the channel. Okay, whether it be you joined at the very beginning or just recently joined, I really appreciate your continued support. I also want to give a huge shout out to all those who follow me on social media, as well as those who allow me to enter into your devices, as well as those who watch from the clouds, even the haters. And before I forget, I just want to let everybody know that I'm currently live on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch, and the subscriber mode has been enabled, meaning if you're not a subscriber and you wish to enter a comment in the chat, you will need to subscribe to the channel. Okay. As always, I really do appreciate all those who either catch it live or catch it on the playback. So what I'm going to ask you to do, if you have not done so already, I'm going to ask you to please subscribe, like, and set the bell notifications to all. So therefore, whenever I do produce content, you will have the opportunity to catch it live or catch it on the playback. And as you can see by the thumbnail, tonight we're having open discussion, which means what we'll be doing is I'm going to give you my thoughts regarding several topics. And of course, the audience will have an opportunity to opine regarding any of the topics which I will discuss. Also, if the audience have any topics that they wish for me to discuss, I will do my best to do so. Please bear in mind there might be some topics I'm not that fully knowledgeable, and when that situation comes to it, I will acknowledge it. So normally I will be live at 10 o'clock on Fridays. So tonight it's going to be on early. But in any case, that's the first thing I want to talk about is the controversy regarding pets being eaten in Springfield, Ohio. Okay. Now, those of us who did see the last presidential debate between the Vice President Kamala Harris and former President Donald Trump, Donald Trump made an assertion that the Haitians were eating cats, dogs, and geese in Springfield, Ohio, and that these people are undocumented. Okay. First of all, let's set the record straight. Okay. Most of these people who have arrived in the United States under this current humanitarian crisis do have documentation, therefore they're not undocumented. Okay. Now the point of the matter is to make a crazy accusation that any group, never mind Haitians, are actually going there robbing people of their dogs and cats and robbing geese and actually eating them. Okay. And what makes it sad is that this story has been fully investigated, and according to the authorities over in Springfield, Ohio, there has been no reporting. There's been no evidence of any animal being kidnapped, much less being kidnapped for human consumption. Okay. And unfortunately, what is basically Donald Trump heard it from someone who heard it from someone who heard it from someone. Okay, and that the person who supposedly made the accusation does not live in Springfield. Okay. Now, unfortunately, what's been some of the consequences of this story is that you have a community that's been maligned, okay, that's been falsely represented. Okay, number one. Number two, you have seen countless memes, particularly on TikTok, regarding dogs and cats being eaten. Okay, they're not being eaten, but there's been dozens of memes regarding dogs and cats being eaten. And actually, some of them made it like a musical skit. That now the sad part is that there have been bomb threats levied in the city of Springfield, Ohio, citing this whole accusation that Haitians are eating cats and dogs. Okay. Now that's not all. That's not all. Okay. My friend Denise Gonzalez in one of her streams, she did a story where, with evidence provided, that in Haiti, as well as and in the Dominican Republic and in Chile, that there are cats that are being consumed for food. Okay. Now she did present her evidence. Okay. Now what has happened? There's been like consternation regarding this story regarding dogs, cats being eaten. Now, in all fairness, okay, I have never heard anything about Haitians eating cats, no Dominican eating cats, nor people from Peru or Chile eating cats. Now, of course, I when I was a child, which is basically 10,000 years ago, you heard rumors that in Chinese restaurants that chicken surprise was actually cat. I don't know how true that is or not true. But you have certain individuals in an uproar regarding the story that was covered. Now, this is my thing. First of all, if you are upset about a story which you perceive is not true, not accurate, okay, or puts a community in a negative light, okay, there are a couple of options that you have. Number one, just just go by the saying, if it doesn't fly, let it fly. Number one. Number two, present your evidence to contradict the evidence that's being given. And number three, don't say anything. Okay. Unfortunately, and we have seen this many times here in these YouTube streets, um, people will, okay, maybe some individuals will debate with emotionalism and not without facts. Okay. And this is how what I'm going to say about it. Whenever you have to revert to name calling, personal attacks, uh, when you have to get emotional in order to debate your point, you already lost the point from the beginning. Okay. And I do recall um, years ago that there was a debate actually with Denise Gonzalez and another individual, which that individual challenged the fact that, and in his words, for providing proof that she was Hispanic. First of all, um, not everyone feels comfortable with the term Hispanic. Some people prefer to be called Latino. Me, it doesn't make any difference either way. But basically, her expression assertions were she doesn't have to provide her proof. Okay. Then he asked some questions which really inappropriate. And then after not making any progress, uh, he started making personal attacks, and eventually he was booted off the stream. Okay. And to be fair, there have been other individuals that tried to debate, but with emotion. Good evening, Irby. Thank you very much for stopping by. Tonight, we're doing open discussion. Basically, I'm talking about multiple subjects. So right now, I'm talking about the situation regarding the allegations regarding cats, dogs, and geese are being used for human consumption by some people, which has been proven to be false. Okay. Unfortunately, what it just creates more division and racism rears its ugly heads. It's bad enough that this country has a long history not dealing with people who are different very well. Good evening, Gigi. Thank you very much for stopping by. And before I forget, let me just state for the record that Gigi has her channels. So I'm going to ask you to show some love to my friend. Check out her content. No, no, I'm just talking about the whole controversy regarding cats being consumed for human consumption. Okay, and that some people have used that to spread racist remarks regarding certain people. Okay, and that's never a good thing. And people have argued emotionally, and I think Gigi, you have seen it as well. Okay, where people instead of having a discussion, trying to present their evidence, they'll get emotional. They'll call names. They'll call people names. Everything other than a child of God. Okay, and that's what's been happening here in these YouTube streets. Okay. One thing I've learned, one thing saying is, if you cannot say something positive about a person, don't say anything at all. That way you don't get involved in the fluffery. Okay. Now, the next thing I'm going to talk about, next week's schedule is going to be a little different. So I'm going to be doing streams Monday night, Tuesday night, and Thursday night. This is, yeah, I'm trying to do that too. I'm trying to do that too because people get very emotional when it comes to politics. So I'm trying to avoid that, like avoiding a bad habit. But I do. But next week I will be going out. I have a couple of social events planned. Okay, so so on those nights when I'm out, having attending a social event, obviously I'm not going to do a live stream because I would rather take the night to have some fun and to you know play hard, learn hard. Okay. Now the next thing we're going to talk about is the Chicago White Sox. Okay. Now, what's so unique about the Chicago White Sox? Okay, first of all, um, they're having one of their worst baseball seasons ever. Okay, in fact, what I'll do is I will share my screen um, to illustrate what I am talking about. But the Chicago White Sox had lost over 110 ball games. Okay, so just give me a moment for my image to pop up. Okay. Now take a look at the record of the Chicago White Sox. No, that is not an illusion. That is factual. The Chicago White Sox have won 36 ball games and lost 117. Okay. Why am I talking about this team? Okay, first of all, for a team to be this bad in a year takes a lot of talent. Okay. Now the modern record for most losses in a 162 game season is 120, which was achieved by the New York Mets of 1962. Now, as you can see, in the 162 game season, the Chicago White Sox have 9 games left to play. Okay, so if they lose 4 of the next 9, basically going 5-4, what happened is the Chicago White Sox will have broken the modern record for most losses in a season, which is which which will be 121. No, this is baseball, Irby. This is Irby. This is baseball. Okay. In a typical basketball season, I think it's 82 games, but no, I mean, but in either way, take a look. They're 52 and a half games out of first place. Okay. So it's safe to say that the Chicago White Sox are not going to be and play in the playoffs. Okay. And they're gonna and looks highly likely that they're gonna break the record of 120 losses. Okay. Now it's been reported by management that not only are they going to bring most of the players back, that they're going to try to cut the payroll. And it's like, I think it's a crime to the city of Chicago and to the Chicago White Sox fans that have a team be this bad. Okay, I mean, basically, you have to be drunk and on your mind. I mean, I don't know about you, but 117 losses, and look at the winning percentage, 235. If that's not pathetic, I don't know what is. Okay. All I can say is, Chicago White Sox fans, You have my deepest condolences. You have my deepest sympathies, and both all the fans should be given free therapy. Okay, so we're gonna go from the worst team in baseball to the best team in the American League, which is my New York Yankees. Okay, and of course their record is 89-64, which is the which is the highest winning percentage in the American League. Okay. And the Yankees were among the first teams to clinch a playoff spot. Now, for the benefit of those of you who are not familiar how the playoff system works, okay. First of all, you have each league, the American National League, have three divisions. So you have six teams from each league that get into the playoffs. You have the division winners, which at this point it's the New York Yankees, the Cleveland Guardians, and the Houston Astros. And then after that, the three teams with the three following highest records enter the playoffs as wild card teams. Okay. Which at this point is the Baltimore Orioles, the Kansas City Royals, and the Minnesota. Yes, Irby, I'm flexing my Yankees, okay? Okay, yes, I am a flexing my Yankees, okay? Yeah, I'm a Yankee fan. So now with the current playoff schedule, the two teams with the highest winning percentage receive a bye, which means that the team that's the number third seed will play the team of the number six seed. And the team of the number four seed will play the team of the number five seed. And then the winner of those two games will face the number one and two seeds, which in this case it appears to be the New York Yankees and the Cleveland Guardians. Okay. So I'm going to stop sharing here. Give me a moment. Yes. First of all, a huge shout out to the 10 people who are watching this stream right now. I would appreciate it if everyone hitting the like button. Okay? It doesn't cost you anything. And actually, it does help out with the algorithms. Now, the next thing I'm going to be discussing is the topic called The Delusion is Real. And let me explain what I mean by that. Good evening, Time Funk. Thank you very much for stopping by. And of course, she has her channel, so I'm going to ask that you show some love to her as well and check out her content. It's mainly music, but it's positive music, and I think a lot of the music is basically the throwbacks, if I'm not mistaken. Now, one thing we have seen here in these YouTube streets and then social media together, I mean, people acting in delusional ways. Okay, and in all fairness, of course, everyone likes to focus on the delusion of women, but let me make this perfectly clear. Men are just as guilty. Okay. Okay. And let me just cite a couple examples of the delusion. Okay? On the men's side, okay, Men not wanting to pay for the chick's meals simply because she doesn't let him get access to the kitty. That is that I don't know about you, but I find that to be extremely lame. That you're basically going to go and comp- compel the female to let you access to the box in order to pay for her meal. Okay. Now I know I'm a little bit old fashioned. Okay, but this is my thing. If I'm taking a lady out for a meal, okay, the goal is not to smash. The goal is to spend quality time with my with a female. Okay, that we have conversations. Okay, that maybe we can learn something about each other. Okay, things of that nature. Find out if there are things that are common. I do not take a lady out for the purposes of smashing. Okay. Look, I've said this before and I say this again. When I met my ex wife in the DR the first time, I wanted to get to know her and she wanted to smash right away, which that caused a problem. Okay. First of all, because A, how can you have to know someone, okay, and you thinking about smashing. I mean, first of all, I am not a sex tourist. I'm not a passport pro. Okay. I went to the DR with the specific purpose of trying to get to know her and see what things we have in common. Do we have common interests? Okay, me learning about her family, things of that nature. Um, Also, another problem is, um, and this was also my thinking, if she was ready, if she was willing to give me access to the kitty, has she done that to other people? Now, of course, I did not approach her with that question because certain things she should never approach a female. Okay, you just have to use proper discernment. But for me, to not pay for a woman's meal simply because she will not give me access to the box, that's lame. That's lame indeed. Okay. Particularly, look, if I'm taking, and I don't have, and I'm not planning to spend hundreds of dollars on a meal, but you figure you want to get to know someone, so you take it to a nice restaurant, somewhere like an Applebee's or Chipotle's or okay, TGIF, um, some of the, I would say, family oriented restaurants, okay, or BBQs. So what you okay, and look, there's nothing wrong spending a reasonable amount of money. I don't know, maybe 40, $50 or even $60, okay? Because you figure, first of all, there's the meal, and then there might be beverages, and then, of course, you want to make sure that you leave the server, you give the server a decent tip because, hey, some of them actually depend on the tips, okay? I mean, and let's keep it real. If you have a server who is friendly, who is engaging, and providing you with quality service, give her a decent tip. Now, generally, I tip 20%. Okay, as a general rule. Okay. Now, if the service was so-so, 15%. Okay. The only time I would not leave a tip if the service was like horrible, like for example, brought me the wrong food or acted rude or inappropriate towards me or towards my guest. Okay. Then of course I will take appropriate action and then speak with the manager or owner and like indicated, hey, this server did not provide professional service. This server was rude. And let me tell you something. When you are in an industry like the restaurants, like the dining industry or hotels, okay, it's very important that you have good people skills, okay? Because if you have good people skills, if you're a professional and you provide good food and good service, chances are the people are going to come back again and dine multiple times. But if the food's horrible, if the service is terrible, most likely you're not going to go back because you're not going to spend your money um, in a place where the service is horrible. Okay, so and to be perfectly honest, if I have a date and the date is being very rude to the serving staff, particularly if the serving staff is doing a professional job. I don't know about you, but to me that's a humongous red flag. Okay. Now before I forget, let me just state for the record that the link to join the panel has been pinned. At any time, if any one of you wishes to hit the link and express their point of view regarding any of the topics I'm talking about, or if they have a talk that we should talk in for us to engage in, that's perfectly fine. And let me state again, if I never heard from you, if I never seen you anywhere, I will insist that you come up in the backstage to make sure that no one flashes anything inappropriately, um, which will cause the people of YouTube to take down the stream. Yes, I have heard about P. Diddy. Yeah, okay. Let me tell you, okay, in fact, I'm glad that you reminded me about it. Of course, everyone knows that he's been arrested, okay, and he's been charged with multiple sexual offenses, okay. Now, there have been allegations for years regarding P. Diddy, okay. Let me just state for the record, okay, because we have to. Everyone is innocent until proven guilty in a court of law. Now, P. Diddy has tried to be out on bail, and basically what he has done, I mean, some of the things he did offer a $50 million bond, and plus some property, things of that nature, his personal property and property of some of his members of his family in order to be out on bail, and the judge denied him bail more than once. Now, one thing that's really rough for him is the fact that he's going to have to sit in jail uh, until the date of the trial, which could be months away, okay? And then he has to return to jail. Okay. Really? I didn't know that. And and the fact of the matter is, when it comes to the pecking order as far as criminal offenses, sexual offenses is like the lowest of the low. Yeah, I understand he's under a suicide watch as well. I mean, I would not want to be in his shoes for all the money in the world. Because unfortunately, people know about him, and of course, people have their suspicions regarding some of the things that he's done or allegedly has done. And one thing about people in prison, when you harm women, when you harm children, when you harm, okay, again, allegedly, um, that does not look too good. You know what? This is gonna be interesting. And to be honest, I might even do a stream regarding him and all the allegations. I don't know. I usually don't do those that type of activity, things of that nature. I mean, I'll say this much. And again, people are innocent until proven guilty. But the fact that he was denied bail, that means he's not going to get much sleep. Good evening, Don Armando. Thank you very much for stopping by. And let me let people know that Don Armando has his channel, so I'm going to actually show some love to him and check out his content. I mean, look, yeah, I'll say this much. Um, like I said, it's everyone is innocent until proven guilty, but it doesn't look good. Okay, it does not look good. Okay, so it's going to be very interesting indeed when the case goes to trial, and of course there's going to be uh, a lot of media attention. I mean, we regarding this situation, and we're just gonna have to wait and see how things goes. Okay, which reminds me, my next topic: how to deal with the circus. Okay, now most of you who've been following me know what I mean when it comes to the circus. But for the benefit of those who are watching who do not know what that means, the circus is my collective for those individuals who argue with emotionalism, cannot think straight, does not use common sense. Um, every time there's an argument, they yell and scream and call people and anything and everything but a child of God. Okay. So that is my term for that collective. Okay. And we have quite a few of those people running in these YouTube streets. Okay. I'm going to give you my point of view regarding how to deal with the circus. Do your best to ignore them. Okay. Because the problem is this: if you do decide to engage with them and debate with them and things of that nature, first of all, what you're doing is you're creating attention to these people. Okay. Because one of the things they love and they crave for is attention. Okay. So obviously, if they call you everything but a child of God, it is for a purpose. It is for the purpose of you getting upset, you getting emotional, you losing it, and next thing you know it, you are responding, you are answering back, And then what you're doing is basically, you're basically giving them all the attention that they crave. Okay. So basically, for lack of a better term, they are attention seeking whores. Okay. So how do you deal with such individuals? You ignore them, you don't engage with them. Okay. That is how you deal. Because first of all, that's the worst thing that you can do to these people. Not argue with them, not debate with them, not try to correct them, but ignore them. Okay. And sooner or later, what will happen is this collective will leave you alone for a while, and they'll find another person to engage in their stupidity. Okay. And one thing that I would say regarding most of the people on the chat, whether it be Gigi, whether it be Don Armando, whether it be Irby, whether it be Georgia, or anybody else, okay, what is the common thread is that there's been some person who had issues with these people. And for the most part, how they dealt with it is simply to ignore them. Okay. And of course, if you have a short fuse, that's easier said than done. But the more that you ignore these people, the more they're not going to engage with you. The more that you engage with these people, the more they're going to continue. Okay. And they know how to push your buttons. Okay. Should anyone um, share your content without your consent? Report them. Should anyone say anything inflammatory? Report them. Okay. Because realistically speaking, it's not like you can call the FBI and what have you because they got more important things to worry about excuse me, than someone who has a beef on YouTube and what have you. I mean, and when everything they said is done, this is entertainment. Okay. This is not real life. People treat it as real life. Okay. Now I get it. During the COVID-19 pandemic, when we couldn't go out, we all resorted to YouTube, and we all did what we did, and we actually did. No, we did our streams, what have you, and some of them lasted for hours. Okay. There have been a few streams that actually lasted 9, 10 hours. The longest stream that I ever did was close to 5. And the crazy part is that out of all the streams, that was the one that was watched the most. Okay. Particularly the second half when it got very spicy and a lot of back and forth going on. But I've learned. So now after next week, I will be airing content from Latina Diaspora again. It's just I'm taking like a 2 week hiatus, so to speak, to concentrate on my channel. Okay. Uh, just trying to find a time which is appropriate to air my content. Because unlike some of these YouTube creators, I actually work for a living, okay? And I got more important things to do. And let's keep it real. Um, It takes a great deal of time and energy to create content. Okay. It's not like you can just open up SpringYard and just started to talk. No. I mean, if you want to do a quality string content, first thing you have to do is you would have to brainstorm what is your topic, and then after that you have to do your research, okay, to make sure that your information is credible. No, I'm not throwing any shade per se, Irby. I'm just simply stating the facts, okay? And look, the YouTube create, okay, the people in the chat who actually created content, like Hammer Time Funk, Don Armando, and Gigi, and myself. Okay, we're all taking a great deal of time and energy to create our content. Okay, and of course we all run our channels differently. But one thing that's a common thread is that we all strive to be the best version of ourselves. We all strive to provide quality content. Okay. Okay. Now there's certain things that some YouTube creators do that I would not do because that's just not my character. Okay. I kind of march to my own beat. And at the same time, there's certain things that some of the YouTube creators will not follow my example because perhaps it doesn't work for them. Okay. There is no one cure to create quality content other than look, be true to yourself, be consistent, um, know that certain individuals are going to take pot shots at you, okay? And it's basically because either because of your content or because of the people that you choose to hang with or off. Okay. And again, one thing we have to bear in mind, I have said this before, and I'm going to say it again. This is not a marathon. I mean, this is not sprint. This is a marathon. Okay. And there's going to be weeks when you're going to have people that are going to be excited to see your content, and you're going to have weeks that basically not too many people are interested, or they'll all catch it on the playback. And of course, when you're being accused of whatever allegation, whatever it might be, if it doesn't apply, let it fly. Okay. Because one thing that I will say that's true, virtually everyone in the chat and myself, we have that people who are taking shots at us because of our content, or that because of certain people that we're cool with, which happens to be their ops. Okay. And I know this is sound old, okay, but the situation is if you're cool with me, I'm cool with you, okay. And of course, I don't betray my friends. Okay. Those of you who are unable to deal with that fact, well, there's the door. The good Lord hit you, the good Lord split you. Okay. So let's see. I think I covered everything. There is one topic that I listed in my notes but I don't think I'm going to address it, okay, because it has to do with politics, and I'm trying to avoid that, okay. But of course, when it comes time for the vice presidential debate, I will give you my assessment, okay. And of course, people will support whoever will support. Okay, you know what, Don Armando? Some things just don't make any sense, and and again, it's best not to engage such with such people, okay? Because it doesn't make look. You have individuals they are in need of an involuntary observation period in a rubber room with a straight jacket. We all know that. We're not going to mention any names here, okay? But there's certain individuals that should not be in these YouTube streets. They should be getting therapy to deal with whatever trauma that they went through, whether it be losing the White House, losing their marriages, I mean, what have you. Okay. Um, and at my stage of life, I don't have the time nor the energy to argue with stupid people. And especially not to engage with people who cannot debate logically, that have their resort to emotionalism and name calling. Okay. Because the fact of the matter is, when you have to revert the name calling, you already lost the argument. Okay. And I have seen this with multiple creators at multiple platforms. When people argue with creators, but yet they cannot argue without bringing emotion into the picture. But in any case, I have been talking for almost an hour. So if anyone wants to hit the link and join the panel and share their point of view, they're more than welcome to do so. Again, let me still state for the record, if I never seen you before or heard from you before, I will insist that you come up in the backstage to make sure that no one flashes anything inappropriate, which will cause the people of YouTube to take down the stream. And speaking about inappropriate, let me just share with you what happened months ago. Um, I was in the middle of a Zoom meeting with my local, with one of the committees. Um, Someone managed to hack into the call. And how could I say this without getting okay? There was an individual lying down, pleasuring himself on camera. Yes, folks. You know what, Irby? I don't worry about that. Okay. People are always gonna watch for the clouds. Okay. I can't be concerned about it. I would prefer to focus my attention to the people in the chat and the people on the panel. Okay. Those who watch from the clouds, fine. Okay. I mean, look, there are reasons why people don't engage in the chat. Some people, okay, may not like the topic. Other people, it's like they have nothing to say, or maybe they don't have a great deal of knowledge about it, which is perfectly fine. Okay. I can't be worrying about whether the why someone doesn't join in the chat. In the chat, all I can do is inform everybody that people, if they wish, they can enter their comments in the chat, or they can hit the panel and express their point of view. But, but for as far as people watching the clouds, let them watch from the clouds. Okay. I mean, that's not mean all that much to me. But in any case, let me just share with you um, the streams that I've scheduled for next week. So Monday, I will be discussing the topic, what is hope? A Christian perspective. Now let me explain to you what's going on. So actually, believe it or not, I'm following advice of some person. No, that Mondays I'm going to be talking about Christian related topics. And of course, in order for my audience to understand, I have to give like clear definitions and clear explanations why. Okay. I'm not trying to convert anyone, okay, but what I'm doing is just sharing my perspective regarding certain topics that Christians deal with. So I'm going to be doing that Monday at 10 o'clock. And then Tuesday, I'm going to be dealing with the fact why third party candidates have such a difficult time trying to run for office and to be elected. Okay. Because the reality is this, there are third party candidates. The problem is no one knows about them. Okay. Because the problem is, first of all, you have to be on the ballot of all 50 states, including the District of Columbia, to realistically have any chance whatsoever. Then you need to, there's the exterior, which is excuse me, let me just okay, which is like, the images and things like that. But it does cost a lot of money to be on the ballot for all 50 states and and then there's also the challenges that they get from the two parties, because apparently they have an issue with anyone that's not a Republican or a Democrat running for political office. And also the fact of that is, it does require a great, huge sums of money. So next week should be interesting either way. So in any case, looks like no one is going to join the panel. So what I'll do is you know what? There's one more thing that I want to talk about before I wrap this up. We need to be mindful when it comes to rumors, okay? Because people can make rumors about anything. Rumors about this person dying, this person getting a divorce, this person doing whatever, okay? Rumors they spread. However, you cannot base everything on a rumor. You need facts. Okay, so what you need to do is do your due diligence and study the situation. So that way you will get the facts, and those who do not get the last get the facts. It doesn't. It does not always bode well. But in any case, I will be on Monday night, Tuesday night, and Thursday night. Monday night will be the only night where they'll be on at 10 o'clock. The other times I'll be either on 9:15 or 9:30. And of course, people are more than welcome to catch us on the playback and enter your comments. Just keep it respectable, folks. Because if you fail to keep it respectable, I will delete the comments. Okay. Because when everything is said and done, this is not an echo chamber. People are allowed to express their point of views as they see fit. We can disagree as long as we're respectable when we disagree. Okay. But to be arguing with emotion, you lose the battle before you even begun. So, with that being said, of course, I would like to wish everyone a very wonderful weekend, being that this is the last weekend of summer. So, fall begins, I believe, this Sunday, if I'm not mistaken. And of course, as a result, the days will get shorter, it will get cooler, and we'll have to wait until next year to go to the beach. But in any case, I'm going to close the same way as I always close. We must do everything possible to avoid the presence of the mentally intellectual chunks, because if we fail to do that, we will be infected by the stupidity and mass insanity. This has been another episode of Uncommon Sense with Jose Negron, saying good night, take care, and peace. Oops. Okay, just give me a moment because my computer is acting up.